Hi, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here. Today I'm at the church parking lot, and I brought the Fun Cub and the Aero Scout just to have a little fun today, the day after Thanksgiving. It's just a little past noon, and the sun was out for a little bit, and there's a little bit of wind, but we should be okay. These two airplanes fly pretty good, and I just wanted to do some fun, relaxing type flying, and you guys know how I feel about this Fun Cub. The low price point, low investment, low stress. So that's exactly what I need. You know, a lot of people have a stressful day for Thanksgiving, and it wasn't too bad for me, but anyways, I just wanted a low stress flight today, and these are the two airplanes that can really do that. So let's get these things in the air and see how I do. I see Kevin, Dave, and Alan, and Gary. Guys, I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. And thanks for hopping on. I got the Fun Cub all bound up and ready to go. The wind is coming from an angle today, so I do have it sitting here so I can take off that direction. I got the Fun Cub running on 4S today. I haven't flown this airplane in quite a while, so I can't even remember what kind of condition it was in when I put it away, but I'm pretty sure I remember 4S was the way to go with it, and it seems to be handling it pretty good. Now, this airplane is on an orange RX receiver, which doesn't have any kind of gyro or AS3X stabilization or any of that kind of stuff. It's straight me, and we do have quite a bit of wind. I say quite a bit, it's like 8 mile an hour probably, gusting upwards of 12, so not too bad, but still. I'll pump up the throttle just a little bit. You can see it's pretty snappy, and I'm pretty sure I got it on high rates. Like I said, I haven't flown this one in a while, so I wasn't gonna mess with anything other than just fly it. And yeah, a little bit of inverted, but I'm using a lot of stick to keep it there. This is, like I said, just a stress-free type of flight. The motor on here is one that Flight Test did like a development on or something. Woo. And I thought for myself, well, the way the wind's going, I won't even come close to that lamppost. And there I go wandering over there. Here, I bring it back. Anyways, it's a Flight Test motor, and it's pretty powerful. One of the things interesting about it is that it's capable of the 4S, so that's one reason I have 4S in there. And I don't remember what brand it is, but the ESC in here is out of my old F-15, E-Flight F-15 jet. So it's a nice strong ESC. It's a fun little airplane. I got a link down in the description box in case you guys are interested, but I got to tell you, it is a kit, and so you got to put everything in it. It doesn't come with motors and ESCs and servos. You got to have all that stuff to put in there. So if you got an old airplane that you've crashed, and it's the right size motor for this, it's perfect. You know, you just got an airframe that looks like new. You can put all those parts in the airplane and just get right out there and start flying again. I am pushing this and flying it really fast, but I'm sure I can slow it down. And I'm thinking about trying an AR-636 receiver in here just to see if I can get it as stable as like the Aero Scout. I used a bunch of rudder to bring it around fast there. Not recommended unless you're completely confident that you can do that. You can see it's kind of slipping because of the direction of the wind. And then when I hit the throttle, it pulled it that direction real quick. So what I want to do, instead of turning this way for my landing, I'm going to want to turn the other way. So let's go this way. So what I want to do is turn this way for my landing. That way it's more straight back and forth, because this is more the direction the wind is coming right now. Just like that. Well, there's some noisy wheels on this thing, but they're rolling. It says I got 1:52 left on the clock, but we're going to switch over to the Aero Scout and get it in the air. It's up at the top. I scrolled way down the list, and that's not. It's way. You know, it would be a nice thing that you could do for this is to make it so I could highlight some of them, the ones I use the most. Oh, there it is. It's actually farther down to the bottom than I remember. So it takes a second for the IX-12 to switch over. I did hear that the IX-20 is much quicker on changing models. There she goes. She's all ready to go. I'm gonna leave it out of safe for the takeoff, and we got high rates. One way to be able to tell that it's not in safe is when you push the ailerons, the rudder doesn't move. If it's in safe, then the rudder moves with them. All right, so no safe for this flight. We do have a little bit of wind, but I just wanted to be able to show you guys the difference in the flying characteristics of the Fun Cub and the Aero Scout, and I didn't want to cheap with safe. Now this airplane is strictly 3S, but it's got some amazing lift. You can see it right there, just hanging in the wind. I am flying across the wind there. It takes a few seconds for it to kick in. That's all speed controller. I'm pushing the nose over, letting it build up some speed for the pass. There's that sun coming out again. So we'll go down this way a little bit, away from the sun, so I'm not staring at it. Actually, I should turn out over the barn here, kind of like for my landing. We'll bring it in here. I can show you, this airplane is just, I'm pushing the nose down to get it lower for you guys. This is not safe. That's how stable this thing is. Now, like I said, you do have to remember that it takes a second for that motor to wind up. So you don't want to let it get it completely stalled and then try to get it going again. You gotta be thinking about it ahead of time. It's kind of like an old video game where sometimes you gotta hit a button before it needs to be happen on the game. So it's kind of the same way with this. Only for this throttle though. I mean, everything else is real time. It's just that throttle takes a second to spool up. I'm gonna stay above them trees, using the rudder to bring it around. That's safe, does that for you. So when you roll this with safe off, you got to remember when you're moving up from safe to no safe that you still got to move that rudder a little bit if you're wanting it to turn with the roll, or you got to do bank and yank, and that's just where you get it so far sideways that when you pull up on the elevator it turns, right? So, which isn't a bad idea because you need to keep your altitude when you're turning. You can see this airplane is super easy to take off and land even without safe. So when you're learning to graduate from using safe, you definitely need to get to the point where you're doing your takeoffs and landings without the safe, because there's going to be some RC planes that you want that don't have safe. Ooh, did you see that? Just above them parking blocks. My goodness, I about made a mistake. We'll go out and around the lamppost. I let it get a little too low over them parking blocks. And it's kind of deceiving because it slows down so much you don't realize that it's not going to make it past them. There, I'm keeping a little throttle in it. Got enough wind that it's really slowing down. There we go. I got back in the throttle in plenty of time. Going way out and around that lamppost. You guys know how my airplanes seem to want to hit that lamppost. Here we're much closer. No chance of hitting those parking blocks. Now, if I would have tried to land that with it this close to me, it would have been too rapid descent and it would have kind of smacked down. That's why you would want it to start its approach back here, getting down much lower, not quite as low as I was, but you want to keep a little bit of throttle, let it slow down, see it start dropping all of a sudden. Here we go, about perfect right here. There you go, just like that. This airplane, I've shown that it can do all that stuff that I did with the Fun Cub. Here we go, pull a half loop into inverted. And we'll turn it back around this way. And then we'll pull it under. Just a really fun airplane. Flying over the lamppost. Playing around with that lamppost. Just a little too much, Gary. Or Grandpa Gary. I did get to see my grandson yesterday. And that made the whole day. Thanksgiving was so much better being able to see him. And he's almost 7 months old, and he is just, it's just amazing to see babies learn so many things. And it's just, that's one thing, one way to learn that you got things to be thankful for. Now see how it kind of, I let it completely stall and then smack down. Now, this airplane's strong enough to be able to handle that, but that's not, you don't want to practice that. That isn't how you want your other airplanes to land. You want it to still be moving forward and be able to smooth that out by flaring. Here we go. A little bit of throttle. It's ballooned up because of the wind picked up, but you don't want it to stop moving forward. And that wasn't too bad. Even though I got a bounce, that was actually a better landing than when it kind of smacked. Because on some of my airplanes, the landing gear is weak enough that that landing will actually bend the landing gear. And you don't want to be bending your landing gear all the time. Here we go. goodness, that was beautiful. We'll end the video with that landing right there. That was great. I tell you guys, the Hobby Zone Aero Scout, it's a great airplane. But that Fun Cub, if you got parts left over from another airplane, that's a great airplane too. And I don't have the Hobby Zone plane linked in any of my description box, but you can find it on Horizon Hobby or Hobby Zone's own website. And guys, the day after Thanksgiving, I do appreciate everybody that's on here watching today. And when you watch these videos back, I do appreciate all the support, guys. And we keep crawling up there. We're going to get close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. Man, when we get there, man, I'm pumped to do a giveaway again. And it might be the last one I do, but man, I'm hoping to be able to do something that you guys will really appreciate. And so when we get there, I don't know when I'll make the announcement, maybe 25 to go or 50 to go, something like that. But we'll do the big announcement video then. And we'll see what I give away. Hopefully some airplanes that I've already flown and maybe some new airplane that's out. Who knows? But guys, if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you guys know when I'm going live. And I usually fly right here at the church. And it's not the same time all the time now because of the daylight and weather and all that kind of stuff all plays a role when you get it and you're able to get out here and fly. And if you don't mind, give me that thumbs up and leave some great comments. And as always, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Joe.